Ladies and gentlemen, this Mampolo from Mampolo's corner. Rene myself. Guys, I think this Niger Republic, they are not in trouble. If you see the cool leader, don't they panic. They don't they panic now. This Niger Republic, people are saying they don't enter one chance. So if you see people when they come meet them now, you go fear. Now joint tax military. Now they call this one joint tax military. Now tomorrow me una do coup again and I miss send on. Well, not too much. ECOWAS military troop don't they ready standby. Say they are ready for the battle. Our ECOWAS. Baba Tinubu, you know they hear. I know that I say it's strong. That's why I say you sometimes they do like this when they talk. He said they are now standby, now ready to battle. Retete. I say Niger they panic now. You know, and down. Asari Dokubo military troop don't they ready standby to go and override Niger military. Every country want join them. Every country want say their head they too. Make them come join Niger. Make them go fight Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo with the military. Asari Dokubo say I will run all of them, come back victorious. Before I begin to show now the ECOWAS military troop, let's see Asari Dokubo own first. let's hear when they talk and say nothing they happen. Make them commissioner made. Make go run them over. Then I'll come back and I'll come show now the ECOWAS has done gallant. They don't ready. Watch video.
If the government commissioned me and my people to go to Niger Republic, we'll go, we'll defeat them, and we'll come back victorious. It's not a boast.
No.
If the government commissioned us to go,
yes.
If Benin Republic like, let them go and bring anybody. They are human beings, or wicked men, or lotu. They are human beings like us. We'll go there, we'll defeat them, and we'll come back victorious. And we'll restore democratic order in Benin Republic.
You will restore democratic order in Benin Republic. Jesus. Oh, now they hear from our brother Asari Dokubo. Now our brother now being our father. They don't join our father. Oh. Even when make things happen. He said if the government of Nigeria commissioner let them know, just give them approval. Say now one way, you don't go run them now. He said who be Niger military. Even when every other people join, every other country join, he go run them. Say now human being them. I come they ask Asari Dokubo, you go need to wait to make we commission you. They go. As Tinubu, the problem when Tinubu there now. If you see anybody want just run Niger 446 in 2 days. Tinubu go there happy now. He can even make you the vice president. Come on, Shatima, say Shatima, you don't know the work. You don't want me to beg you or me to come commission. But I don't need to commission you. Just carry a military go. You know, see, now one day for Nigeria, when they say, now we be the warlord, now we be the this, now we be the. Una they just make yourself caricature now. Una just make yourself like say, una be comedian like us. Well, not too much. To me, an act of irresponsibility of a man of your age, an act of irresponsibility is when there is fight in your home. You never will settle your own fight. You never will quench your own fight in your home. Call Nigeria. Now Niger only won't go quench for us. When would they see report? Even currently, would they see report for Plateau State? How many people buy when they buy? When they say terrorists, would they buy there? No, Asari Dokubo. You know, if find out one terrorist for us. You know, fit for the whole Nigeria. You there for where you there forever. They tell us say you go leave Nigeria. One fight. When they say one day for Nigeria, pass one day for Niger. You won't go run Niger people. You know. I know. I don't understand. To me, I see this as act of irresponsibility as a father. Sorry, I don't mean to insult you. You are my elder. I not insult you, but I'm telling you, I'm defining act of irresponsibility as I feel. A father who is unable to settle the fight in his house, and you are running outside to go and settle another person's fight. You are a irresponsible father. That's just the definition of irresponsibility in this concept for me. in this concept too, for me. But I'm not saying you are irresponsible. No, you are very responsible. It's all right. Now, the thing can't baffle me. So we get warrior like this. We get giant like this. Nine Boko Haram, bandit. Everybody, they run. Even small armed robbers, they run us for Nigeria every time. We get somebody who will go defeat armies, defeat the one even Liberia join. All those neighboring countries when join Niger, when don't do coup before, when say they don't join about five countries. When Asari Dokubo one go defeat them, and we dey hear they cry. It's all right, no problem. Now let's listen to I want to record ECOWAS through Nigerian military troop when don't they ready to go and fire in Niger Republic. All right, now watch the video.
Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. Underscore its continued commitment to the restoration of constitutional order through peaceful means. Enforce all measures, in particular border closures and strict travel bans and assets freeze, on all persons or groups of individuals whose actions hinder all peaceful efforts aimed at ensuring the smooth and complete restoration of constitutional order. Direct the President of the Commission to monitor the implementation of the sanctions.
Also, ECOWAS has ordered the activation and deployment of a standby military force to Niger to restore constitutional order. ECOWAS also warned countries within the bloc supporting the coup leaders to stay off such actions. Meanwhile, the Niger coup leaders have announced a list of 21 persons they say will become ministers in a new transition government.
Well, let's begin what's trending. With reactions trailing the second ordinary meeting of the Economic Community of West African States on Thursday in Abuja, where the regional bloc approved the deployment of a standby military force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger, Omar Traore, the president of ECOWAS, said the decision of the regional body to deploy troops in Niger does not translate to a country fighting another, while the president of Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, stated after the meeting that the decision was taken collectively by member states and not a Nigerian affair, further describing the detention of ousted President Mohamed Bazoum by the military junta as an act of terrorism.
Keeping President Bazoum as a hostage, I personally consider this as a terrorist act, and we cannot let this continue. We have to act. The position of Côte d'Ivoire, which has been endorsed by all of the head of states, and that we have been able to tell these putschists that their place is in the barracks. They should go to fight the terrorists and not try to kidnap a democratically elected president.
Well, I was just saying that I haven't heard from Côte d'Ivoire in a while. I mean, 81-year-old Ouattara has spoken, and I do, agree with him that it is an act of, terrorism. But also, the president of ECOWAS had, reiterated that they have been dialoguing and they have tried to maintain peace, and that ECOWAS is not going against ECOWAS citizens, or it's not an issue of fighting, a country or like Nigeria fighting Niger, but the fact that they have principles in place. So that's a big point. But Nigerians have reacted. Let me take Shehu Sani's tweet. He wrote, ECOWAS communique is contradictory, opting for dialogue as setting up a standby force. Our message to the leaders of West Africa is unambiguously clear. Do not drag us to war because of coup in Niger. Then also a statement that was credited to the president of Liberia has also been trending. I believe he made this statement back in 2021, which is quite relevant now. He wrote, as long as ECOWAS tolerates institutional coup that allows lifetime presidencies, there will always be military coup. And we cannot condemn military coup when we do not condemn those who carry out institutional coup. Well, another Twitter user there, Nefertiti, she wrote, ECOWAS deploying a standby force to invade Niger is laughable. Those coup plotters already consolidated their powers. the rebel who may be activated to dislodge them also came too late. A government has been formed. All the ECOWAS can do now is to embark on a face-saving mission. Yes, we know that on Wednesday, the military formed a 21-member cabinet. Some of them were coup leaders, and also we understand that there were a bunch of civilians in there. But I also wanted to touch on George Weah's statement. Ayo, if you can really touch on that, and then we can move forward.
All right, just to touch on that really quickly, very spot on what he said, institutional coups as opposed to military coups. And a number of guests we've had on the show have actually spoken to that. Mr. Femi Falana has also spoken to that matter, and a few other people have said that we cannot continue to condemn military coups when we promote institutional coups or internal coups, as it's called, where there's no adherence or respect of the Constitution, especially with regards to the number of years or the tenure or tenure elongation. President Ouattara, who was speaking just a few seconds ago, himself has been president since 2010. So he's been president of Côte d'Ivoire beyond the length of time. And so it's quite rich when they come for meetings like this at the ECOWAS summit and they're talking about, we have to kick against coups. And then you see lifetime president, life president, self-imposed life president in Africa, and you wonder why these coupists or military hunters are popular in this region. So if we're going to fix military coups, which is very important, if we're going to address it, we also have to and must speak to internal or what is now called institutional coups across the continent. Dr.
Bati, another conversation out there was the fact, like I mentioned earlier, we need to fix our country here, first of all. I mean, the conversation about security and all of that, some people have even brought up Asari Dokubo's video. I believe he did that last week, saying that he's going to go in there. He's actually seeking to take his military into Niger.
Look, what is on the table is that many Nigerians have spoken against Nigeria getting involved in any form of military action in Niger. Whether it's the Christian Association of Nigeria or the Arewa Consultative Forum, the Council of Ulamas of Nigeria. Afenifere just issued a statement also saying, look, we don't want to go to war. Concerned citizens, including Shehu Sani that you Senator Shehu Sani that you quoted, have all said they don't think it's a wise thing because of the likely consequences, the extent, nature of which we do not know. Because if there is retaliation on the part of those coupists in Niger, you don't know what they will do. And our people are on both sides of the border. Many Nigerians even have dual nationality. Only God knows how many Nigerians are also Nigerians. They will probably run into millions, almost as many as the entire population of Niger, perhaps, if a proper census is taken. So on the basis of that, Nigerians are saying, look, we have enough problems at home.
Yes.
And those are the problems you've pointed to by the report on killings in Plateau State.
Yes.
And that was the point being made by Professor Usman Yusuf, that look, we have Boko Haram inside Nigeria, we have banditry, we have kidnapping, we have more than enough. Just toe the line of dialogue. But of course, what happened, as I pointed out earlier on, you don't go into a negotiation by starting with the option of threat. So ECOWAS has now found itself in a very difficult situation. The second point about Nigerians is, what national interest are we pursuing?
That's the question out there.
Whose interest are we pursuing? We understand the principled position that ECOWAS is against military takeover, right? Okay, but what is the overriding national interest for Nigeria in committing troops? Our troops that are already overstretched. The 75 additional aircraft that Nigeria Air Force says they have just bought. They want to go and put those 75 additional aircraft at risk and our Super Tucano jets. And then we don't even know how long this will last. We may come back from that operation and our air fleet will be thoroughly depleted. So cost is also something to worry about. The third point, of course, is that the president keeps saying is acting on the basis of ECOWAS resolutions. And I was raising the point, is ECOWAS superior to the concern of average Nigerians? The Senate has said we don't approve. Is the president going to commit troops to something that the National Assembly of Nigeria has not approved in line with the Constitution of Nigeria. But on the whole, I agree with Senator Shehu Sani, and we had made the point earlier on this program, that the position of ECOWAS is contradictory.
Yes.
You say you are pursuing options of dialogue with people who say they don't want to listen to you. They don't even want to see anybody. And at the same time, you are saying we are going to send a standby force. ECOWAS does not even have a standby force.
That's it.
So these are the issues. And that's why I raised the question earlier on, is ECOWAS shadow boxing? This may well end up as a case of shadow boxing.
But I want to say something about America. And we should be careful. Nigeria should please open our sense and eye. I'm using that colloquially. You can't literally open your sense, but open your head. America has more than enough arsenal on ground to be able to prosecute anything in Niger. But why are they pushing us and ECOWAS forward? I just had to go verify. The Air Base 201 in Niger cost America, the drone base, cost America over $100 million.
But is it America that is pushing ECOWAS? I think ECOWAS is making their own decision.
America made a call through to President Bola Tinubu. Yeah. So in all of this, the Western powers are also saying, reign supreme. So let us not allow them push us to a proxy warfare in their backyard. The French too have people there. If America has an installation of over $100 million there, but they can't because of international regulations. So what they are using, what they are probably looking at is the need for countries like Nigeria and the ECOWAS to be able to go in and prosecute their proxy war. But from that base, America is striking other rebel forces out there.
When I don't see the video, they are all ready. I don't need to talk any other thing. They don't analyze and finish now. My people for Arise TV, they don't analyze and finish. We don't need to get anything more. Now the one when they enter me when I want show now. You get one man when they ask question, the man response, The way the man take define cool, the thing enter me. The man give a very good definition of coup. What is coup? That there's what called democratic coup. There's what called military coup. He said that they get different type of coups. I don't know who they talk to for West Africa. I don't know who they talk to. If you say they talk to somebody, the man is talking to somebody. He said when you force yourself into power, rig yourself into power, what did they call him? He says it's a coup. I don't want to talk too much. For those who never see this, my father in the law. All right now. Watch video.
Joining us now on the morning show to discuss the decision reached yesterday by ECOWAS in Abuja and the implications ahead of a possible deployment of military forces in Niger is Ambassador Ibrahim Meisule, former Nigerian ambassador to Indonesia. What do you think of the resolution yesterday by ECOWAS leaders at that second extraordinary summit, which came across as being contradictory?
First and foremost, just like you rightly pointed out, the release appears to be a little bit contradictory. If you listen to the opening address of Mr. President, he's virtually putting more weight on the issue of diplomacy. But the basic issue is one has to be extremely careful with these sit-tight leaders. Because obviously the coup is not only the idea of military taking over government. A coup is actually where people extend their limit beyond what constitutionally is being provided for. That one is also a coup. When you rig yourself into an election, it's also a coup. So basically the problem with these leaders is I am right, everybody else is wrong. Because one has to look seriously into the kind of thing that this guy is here. And my fears are that we shouldn't allow these people to take us into another proxy war. Proxy war in the sense is that in Niger, the Wagner, the missionary groups of Russia are already there. And these people who are from the East is because Niger, Mali, and others are saying they are tired with the domination of French in the running affairs of their own country, so they want to be really independent. They have been telling us that you are more independent than us because our own independence is only a name. Our currency is being printed somewhere, and then the central bank of another country is the one that takes care of our own money. You go back, you take loan from your own money, and you pay interest. There are so many things that are going on wrong. And I can't see people like Ouattara have the moral right to start telling people that this issue is not Nigeria and Niger. There has been a very good cordial relationship between the two countries. And a number of Nigerian leaders happens to belong to the two countries. Nigeria recognized in dual citizenship. There are a number of Nigerian leaders that are partly here and partly there. So I can't see anybody who's telling us that if there's going to be a war, even if we are not around neighbors, who's Niger, one will say it is not a war between us. It is actually a war between us because there are a number of Nigerians that are going to be affected as a result of that war.
Well, Ambassador, one of the lines in the communique read by Dr. Toure is that ECOWAS is calling on the international community and its partners to support the immediate deployment of a standby force to Niger. What do you think is likely to be the response of those partners, particularly the AU and the United Nations, which, by the way, has also expressed concern about developments in Niger?
You see, when you talk about United Nations, you cannot avoid mentioning United States. United States and France have got their own base in Turkey when this coup was taking place, and nothing happened. They didn't do anything to stop it. So obviously, they have got their own vested interest. And in France, you can see the kind of thing that is happening. In Mali, in Niger, they are trying to at least term themselves their own independence with the way things are going, even if it has not started in the legal way. So obviously, France will be one of those people that can really push forward the idea of war and what have you, so that they can get back their ego. We need to work as a team, and we need to avoid a situation where we'll look back and find out that we're really going to say, if I had known, it would have been an afterthought. There is nowhere that any war took place in the recent years that people have no regret.
When I don't see the video, it's all right. We are waiting for Asari Dokubo, and we are waiting for, what do they call them? We are waiting for the ECOWAS military troops. Make una they go there now. No, we're not the bad again. Me, personally. I'm not the bad guy. Tinubu, you're on the right track. You know me now. Go. This is now time for us to encourage Tinubu and the ECOWAS when they support her. I see Côte d'Ivoire president, when no one come out there since 2010. You are now there already 13 years. You want to become president for life as well, like as your normal counterpart they do. You want to follow Paul Biya. 81 years, you see there. You say, no, coup can never go on again. I know they support coup, you know, concern me, I'm not in military. You know, nothing concern me with all those fights when they fight there is their problem. But I want that to give presentation. You are there. We don't want anybody to coup us. 81 years. What did they find out? Tell nobody when you go come out for power. So make una they go fight them. I know that problem with all those one they do. Make una go. Now I want to encourage ECOWAS. It is the best thing. Make una go with the military intervention. Go and settle them. If you they do there, if they give you anything, why not see that we're going to present the news now. Not be news be our work. If you don't even go there, we don't get news again. Make una go. I don't even know whether I bring this Niger and coup thing to come and disorganize this P2P presidential case, tribunal case. I don't know whether I be the essence because since now news not they even come out with the presidential case again. We will not see anything when they give out for the presidential case. No, we know where that case there. Because the case one day more important to me than all this cool Niger and not cool Niger and not be from Niger. I'm a Nigerian. A very proud one at that. Proud Nigerian. The case one I suppose know who will be our president very soon. Now that one I want to hear. The judges now wanna use Niger case, Niger coup, and they just bury that case. We don't hear anything again. I've been a strategy. At the answer una sure say not be strategy of distraction. Now one want to hear the right verdict from this election tribunal. And not they know because you see this in Nigeria and this Africa, nothing is impossible. Go and quote me. Nothing is impossible. Because we don't hear anything again. I'm just thinking that direction. But the judges, we are waiting for you people. Election tribunal, we still dey wait. That thing them important. Make una give the verdict nowhere on a day. And I don't want to talk too much. Guys, if you love what we are doing here, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, even on TikTok. All of my brothers and love, guys. Peace out.